This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Live show. It is Emirates Cup Friday day. Got 9 games here on the DraftKings main slate. Preview show to now, Grande. A lot of news has come down. Some significant players downgraded throughout the day. Some matchups that we were looking to target become a bit more attractive here. My dog loses her mind. How are we doing here, man?
Doing great. Why? That was like it's usually my dogs that are barking. Your little lady's usually the quiet one.
She's very quiet, but when someone opens the door to my house, which is my wife coming home,
okay, the
10-pound chihuahua becomes into. We did a DNA test in her. My wife used to work for Embark DNA, no free ads. And she had like 1% German Shepherd in her. So
sure.
I like to say that the 1% German Shepherd comes out when people open the door to our house. So
if someone asks, they're like, oh, what kind of dog is she? You're like, oh, Emma's German Shepherd.
She's a Shepherd
then you just
mix?
walk away, and they're like,
yeah.
What? What did you say? Were you talking about your other dog? Is there another dog here? It's like, no, her.
Yeah, Shepherd mix. My Chihuahua Shepherd mix. The 1% trace amounts of German Shepherd DNA. Anyways, so she barks whenever someone opens the door to my house because she's, that productive. She'll run away once she sees it though. She won't actually protect it. She'll just
got it.
So that's a little sidetrack for all of you guys here. Back to today's slate though. LaMelo Ball downgraded to doubtful. Colin Sexton downgraded to doubtful today. So when we talked in the preview show, we're like, maybe no Ball, but at least we'll have Sexton. Nope. Charlotte in a game with a 240 total against the fastest paced team in the NBA. That's also missing one of their key players in Bam Adebayo. And now also potentially without another guy they had been starting in Pelle Larsson. That game becomes all more potentially attractive.
The points in that game, John, have plummeted.
Yeah.
235. It opened when we did the show last night. It was 244.
Yeah.
It's been bet down 9 points.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of daily movement. I get why. I'm not saying I don't. It's a lot of points in a day.
Nothing to do with Pelle Larsson, by the way. Everything to do with LaMelo.
Everything to do with Pelle Larsson for sure.
Yeah. So we have that game. We also have some exciting, again, Emirates Cup matchups here. Boston, Orlando, Toronto, Atlanta, Houston, San Antonio, where 0% of the field were playing Victor Wembanyama today. Chicago, Milwaukee.
Well, that's because you said he sucks on the pre-show.
He did back-to-back 30 fantasy point games. Chicago, Milwaukee made the headliner of the slate at 8 p.m. So a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, some fun matchups to go over here. You did the playbook today, man. That's live over on site. Get that?
Yep.
I see you pop in here. Says the Prince is the Prince in chat, and
he's preemptively saying what's up to the Prince. He knows the Prince will show up late, so the Prince will have to go to the comments to see it.
Maybe he was commenting previously in the waiting room. We don't see the questions that come in before we go live, so sometimes we miss on that. Mr. Polo Cash fan, what's up? Hit that smash the like button. It is free to hit the share button, like button, support button, all that good stuff here. We appreciate all the support from you guys each and every day. Grande, let's kind of get into the slate. As I mentioned, 10K and above players, Wembanyama, Giannis, Cade, Anthony Davis, maybe, doubtful, probably wrong.
Back to back. They play tomorrow, so.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But from the point guard position, Casey said he's playing Wemby at the ownership. 0%. So you'll have huge leverage over the field there. Cade against Brooklyn at 10-4. We've talked about Brooklyn there, missing a bunch of key players. Giddey at 93, your top 2 price guys. Ja and Amen Thompson round out the 8K range. Preview show, we talked up Giddey. If you go look at my top 5 DFS video today, Giddey's in that as well. Guy went for 70 after going for 60 plus in back-to-back games. Game environment's great. They're actually underdogs on the road against Milwaukee here. Obviously a lot to like if you're looking to spend up, but there's just so much value on this slate, especially at the point guard position. Do you find yourself spending here today?
Cover of the playbook you can find at fantasyalarm.com. Josh Giddey as well for the first place Chicago Bulls. First place.
Underdog first place Chicago Bulls.
Underdog. As you can see, the 10-31 game there, John. That was the Emirates NBA Cup opener for the Chicago Bulls. Josh Giddey played 38 minutes, and he's played basically that every game since. And we don't know if Ayo Dosunmu is going to play at this point in time. But it does feel pretty comfortable that Josh Giddey's minutes are going to be high 30s regardless of Ayo Dosunmu's status, especially, with Ayo missing a couple games, like could return with a limit. We're not entirely sure what the minutes are going to look like there. So I think Giddey is my top overall point guard. Obviously, without saying you could play Cade and you'd be happy. He's awesome too. But, everything that Josh Giddey has been this year is kind of crazy. 29% usage rate is elite. 1.55 fantasy points per minute. That's elite. There's 240 implied points. That's now the slate high. Well, down behind Cleveland, Washington, but that's aided by one team. And then Milwaukee's fell pretty hard defensively. They're 21st in defense. Like they started the year top 5 defense in the league, and it's kind of fallen off a cliff. So, yeah, I think Giddey's number 1. Cade is a close number 2. I mean, he is so good. 35% usage without Tobias Harris, 1.5 fantasy points per minute. And obviously the absolute nuts when it comes to matchup. That's just
dead last defensive rating for Brooklyn. You're getting Cade at 50% of the ownership too of Giddey. Obviously, it's because he's $1,100 more expensive. But you're getting Cade at 10. You're getting Giddey at almost 20 tonight. It's
a good way to differentiate. I'm interested to see how ownership is going to play out, because from what we're seeing, this is not even close to what's going to actually happen.
No, we need LaMelo officially out.
The news of LaMelo is going to alter everything, because we're going to get into what and Sexton, right? Because that's 2 guards that they play a lot of minutes down. But yeah, Cade and Giddey are great. You mentioned Ja. There's a lot to like about Ja Morant, other than him not liking basketball.
The off the floor stuff, not necessarily. On the floor, kind of okay.
I mean, he hasn't shot the ball well, but everything else has been great. Like the minutes, he complains about the rotation patterns. That's what the reports are, right?
Yeah.
He gets suspended. He returns from suspension about rotation patterns and is playing more in the rotation. Season high in minutes in back-to-back games. The assists have been great. The shot volume has been great. He can't make threes. That's just what it is.
I was just going to comment that. He has never made threes.
No, but
I don't know why he needs to go to the DeMar DeRozan school of mid-range, because he absolutely has never shot threes well. So the fact that he's taken games at 6, 8, I don't want that. I want him taking 15 free throws, not 7 threes, right? Like get to the rim, get to the mid-range. He's one of the best leapers that we've seen at the guard position. Like he can get up and get to the rim really over anybody in the league. We've seen him dunk on Wemby. So I mean, like, go to the line, go get fouled. Like put it out there. Stop taking these threes, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot that goes into it. It's like one of those, how Josh Giddey has been defended for years now. Like people just sag off Ja, and dare him to shoot it, right? And
I guess if he's not getting any screens, he can't just roll off them and get it.
No screens. No screens are up. Screens are up. We're getting lots of screens this year. But I do think he's in play in tournaments. I would pretty comfortably have him behind Giddey and Cade in terms of priority, but you can play any of the top 3.
Yeah. Work your way down this list here. Then you have Amin at 83. Garland came back, played a limited amount of minutes. It's still okay. It wasn't like 10, it was 26, right? So $7,800 for him. Keontae, Derek White in your 7K range.
Yeah, I don't love this tier. It's not a tier that I have necessarily gravitated towards.
And honestly, nobody has today, so you're not alone on that one.
It's not my cup of tea. If you want to go there, by all means do so. I think like the next couple ranges is where I'd live. I think Cooper Flag is a little bit interesting here. The role was really good against the Pelicans the other day. They're most likely without Anthony Davis. That's not confirmed, but it took one game basically for their numbers to kind of like stabilize for Cooper Flag. 22% usage, 1 fantasy point per minute without AD and Lively. It's a matchup between 2 top 5 pace teams. Memphis is 4th, Dallas is 5th, and Memphis is 23rd defensively. So I think Cooper Flag is a little bit interesting in tournaments. Not like totally sold on the Cooper Flag thing, but I do think, everything is trending in the right direction. Same thing goes for D'Lo. I think D'Lo is a much better FanDuel play, and he's being rostered that way too. He's very cheap over there. My opinion on him hasn't necessarily changed. Like, he's still super high ceiling, might just get played off the floor if he's not doing anything type of player. We saw last game, wasn't doing anything. They took him off the floor, but he is in play in tournaments. It's a very good spot. So yeah, I would say those two guys in the 6K range. And then obviously we have some value like below 6K.
Yeah, Rollins is getting a little bit of love at $6,200. Davion as well at $5,500, getting some ownership. Again, obviously just sort of the matchup driving some of those things there. Milwaukee being home favorites and a high game total over Chicago. We've talked Rollins, though. If he gets cold, they're not afraid to go to Cole Anthony there. But then it is the value. So as of now, again, we expect Trey Mann to see a huge boon in ownership. Not the case as of yet, just because, the official rule out for LaMelo hasn't occurred yet with the ownership that we're looking at. But I would project him to very quickly become the top point guard on the slate, I think, from an ownership perspective. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that. Currently, Tyrese Martin is the guy with the most ownership at 4K. Obviously, no Cam Smith. We're certainly in on Martin, against this matchup against Detroit at 4K. But Mann, Martin, and then maybe some KJ Simpson tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want to just zoom past Davion. I want to go back to Davion real quick because I think he's also really good. He's $4,600 on FanDuel, which is a very good price for him. He leads the team, 14 potential assists per game. He also leads them in passes made and passes received, including in games with Bam, by double digits. Like, it is just, and we've talked about this. They're not running ball screens, so everything is off the bounce. They obviously view Davion as one of their better get downhill drive and kick players, right? That is clearly, if they're putting the ball in his hands so much. Almost 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy, sans Bam. So I actually really like Davion as like a last piece in. Really like him in cash games. I think he's perfect in cash. And yeah, I mean, Tyrese Martin and Trey Mann and KJ Simpson are all intriguing. Tyrese Martin, 27 minutes last game. I am least confident about his minutes. I know Cam Thomas is out, but like, that has never, like, Jordy Fernandez is not a guy that is gung-ho about, if someone's not playing well, like, he is not afraid to just simply remove them. They got Drake Powell back tonight, who's someone who was like actually in their rotation for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So I'm good with Tyrese Martin. He's obviously popular, point guard, shooting guard eligible. Definitely okay getting there. Trey Mann, I am still undecided if they would start him. He just might be one of those guys where they like bringing off the bench, but he's going to close both halves. And it wouldn't matter to me either way. They played a lot of KJ Simpson in the starting lineup last year. I mean, they didn't have Trey Mann in the second half of the year. Either way, he's going to be extremely popular. You said top point guard for sure, because he also has the shooting guard eligibility too. Like, he has the multi-positional stuff. He'll soak up a lot of ownership. And then, Simpson is interesting because he's been in the rotation without LaMelo. He is pretty good per minute. Not great, not terrible, like not bad by any stretch. But there is also the chance that he starts. Like he could just start over Trey Mann. And at the end of the day, it could be Sion James that is the one that's the oddball out for the down the stretch. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Charlotte. We won't know. There will be 5 games that tip off before the 8 p.m. window. So we probably won't get official word on LaMelo, although, I disagree with the way that it's handled. And I think, we should get ownership adjustments. But either way, yeah. And then there is one more that's getting ownership. Bub Carrington is getting a little bit of ownership here. It is an interesting thing for Washington because they ruled out Koulibaly and they haven't had Middleton. And now Keyshawn George is a game time decision. So you have Sarr, McCollum, and if Keyshawn sits, is Champagny for sure starting again? Is Middleton for sure starting again? And then Bub is your 5th starter, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to sort out with Washington. I can't imagine they're going to be very competitive against Cleveland in that case. But Bub, it is a cup game. Bub played 31 minutes last time out and it obviously was blowout aided, but no, he should re-enter the starting lineup if Keyshawn sits.
Sure. Anything else here at point guard?
I don't think so. If anything, we can circle back here.
Okay. Shooting guard position we go then. Donovan Mitchell, $9,000 in. Anthony Edwards in versus Utah, $89. You have Castle there at $7,400. We will get De'Aaron Fox back tomorrow.
Yep.
For San Antonio. So one more game without him there. We did just get an ownership update, by the way, and Trey Mann is 45%.
It's a lot of ownership. Yeah, number one. I mean, I think you and I were in lockstep there. He was going to he is point guard, shooting guard. They're down their top 2 guards.
Yep. So, Mann, as we expected, the highest roster player. On the sake, Simpson did get bumped up to around 20%. So we expected also that little jump there for him at point guard. Shooting guard, Edwards is your top spend up from a price standpoint, from an ownership standpoint on price rather. Gets the Utah matchup. Other than that, it's a lot of guys we kind of have hit on because they had dual positional eligibility. Edwards, Castle, Missile are getting played just because there's so much value at this tier. I like Norm Powell. He's now under 10%, $6,700. Did you just get lost because of all the value that's on the board?
Yeah, probably. And I think people are also a little bit weary. I mean, Norm is a very good scorer that has really never been able to do anything else. He is not a playmaker. He is not a good rebounder. He doesn't get a lot of stocks, but he can score.
Yep.
Which is fine because he leads the team in usage. And if he gets going, he can really get it going.
Mm-hmm. And
he sometimes stumbles into a couple rebounds and a couple assists, but he is typically one-dimensional. So I don't hate Norm. I wrote him up. I think Norm's very solid, but that would be the case against him.
Okay.
But I have no problem going to Norm. Again, 35% usage or so without Bam Adebayo this year. It's a very good number.
Yeah. Where else do you look to go here at shooting guard today?
I would love to play Donovan Mitchell more than anyone in this rate, at this position. I just don't know if we can get there. The only thing I'd say is that they're 0-1 in the cup.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play in that game. But how do we get to 35 and 36 minutes, especially if Keyshawn George doesn't play? This Cleveland team is projected to be the number 1 team in the East. That has been basically the sentiment. And if you didn't pick Cleveland, you basically picked the Knicks, right? That was essentially the top 2. So I would love to play Donovan Mitchell. I mean, Washington's 29th in defense and 2nd in pace. Check. checkmate, right? Like coming off the games that he's come off. I would love to play Donovan Mitchell. That would be my pivot off Ant because Ant's like extremely popular.
Yeah.
And he was pacing for more before the blowout. So I don't think they view this hamstring as a real issue. I know he was listed questionable, but 29 minutes would have been 34 minutes or low 30s minutes if not for the blowout. So I'm good with Ant. I just think Mitchell's a really good pivot at that same price range. We talked Norm. I think RJ Barrett is very solid. He overthrew Brandon Ingram for team lead in usage so far, and he's second in fantasy points per minute, only behind Scotty Barnes. And he's the third highest priced of the Raptors. Sure. And the one caveat with Toronto is what we have said all year, and it's not going to change. It's hard to predict who's going to have the big game for Toronto every night. Yeah. Like Barrett's stabilized everything like pretty well. He's also had 20-point fantasy floor. Like that's not great. So right. I like Barrett, like Powell. You can always play Pritchard. We talked Russell. Let's talk Jaquez at small forward because it's a really bad position. But Con Knipple is obviously where the field's going to go, as they should. Shooting guard, small forward in an elite paced matchup against, and he's coming off the games that he's come off without LaMelo, and now you're taking Colin Sexton off the floor as well. Yeah. I guess maybe that is something to be said. A less willing passer is starting at point guard potentially in Trey Mann. Like Trey Mann is not a pass first point guard. I promise you that. Which is kind of why I almost think there's a chance that KJ Simpson is starting tonight because they want someone like that. I think that's your best case for Knipple, but 5,800 is a really good price for him.
Sure. Other options as we kind of work our way down here. Again, there's Mann. From an ownership perspective at the shooting guard position,
we've basically
hit everybody. Coward a little bit. I mentioned him. You have your Nets. Zaire Williams is around 10%.
I got one other that I wrote up today in the playbook that you guys can find at fantasyalarm.com if you are a Fantasy Alarm All Pro subscriber. I did write up Dyson Daniels today, and I think Dyson Daniels is very safe and he's very intriguing. This role that he's had without Trae Young is very intriguing. The minutes have obviously ticked way up. Could tick up even further if Luke Kennard ends up sitting because, you can only play Vit Krejci and Keaton Wallace so many minutes before you're like, Dyson, please. And he's the team leader in potential assists. We know his defensive pedigree, and the scoring has obviously ticked way up for Dyson Daniels. So that would be the only other guy I'd really mention. I think all these players are basically like crossover guys. Like you could play Trey Mann here, which I think a lot of people are going to. And if you're not playing Trey Mann here, a lot of people are just playing Tyrese Martin here. Both those guys are super intriguing. Sion James is getting some ownership. I will just caution anyone that clicks Sion James and just to realize he has a 14% usage rate. So
not great.
It's just something that I personally avoid. I don't like playing players typically unless they're doing something definitive, right? Dyson Daniels leads the team in potential assists. I know Dyson Daniels is going to get steals. Like those things I know. Sion James is a complete unknown really everywhere.
Okay. Small forward position. Jaylen Brown is your top price small forward on this slate. We know he's going to take a boatload of shots. Again, because there's so much value, no one's at least at the moment getting to him. Your top spend price-wise guy, it's like Durant is under 5%. I mean, you're playing Knepel, you're playing Terrence Mann, Asor, Ron Holland's getting ownership. I mean, there's much better players at small forward tonight. Why is everybody going down?
I guess I don't think this, for the record, I don't think this is a good position. Like, I think Jalen looks very good.
Okay.
It's a better than normal spot. And that's mainly because Orlando's playing so fast. 6th in pace this year, tied with Charlotte. Shocking to see that, but they have their league average defense. Also kind of shocking. They've been top 5 in the league basically every year under Jamal Mosley. So I like Jalen, but like you look at the rest of the tier, don't really want to pay 8,300 for Larry Markkinen in this spot. Don't really have any interest in playing Kevin Durant over $8,000. And this is not the shot at the players themselves. It's just like the price and the matchups currently. Franz Wagner looks fine, but with what Paolo has done lately, it's really hard for anyone else to consistently have big games. I think Ingram is good. I had no problems, but we've talked about the Raptors enough to like the next name I'd like really like have any conviction on is probably PJ Washington at 7,200.
Okay.
And that's mainly because Dallas is starved for anyone to put the basketball in the basket. And PJ Washington is at least attempting to do that while playing monster minutes. So like, I don't disagree. Like name value is a good position. But I do think like outside PJ, Jalen's really the only guy in that top tier I'm targeting.
Sure. I guess for me, if we're thinking that because it's a cup, these guys are going to play a couple more minutes than we usually see, like it does kind of elevate their opportunities to potentially produce points. Again, there's plenty of guys in here that have shown ceilings. Again, I told you already, the Celtics defensive struggles. If you think Paolo's fine, but like someone else is also going to have a good game. It's going to be Wendell Carter. It's going to be Franz Wagner. It's tonight Desmond Bane shoots. Like I could easily see Wagner going out and going for 45 tonight while Banchero goes and gives you his 25 and 10 double. I think that's possible. I do like Ingram just in general. Washington, I agree with. Jaylen Brown, I'm certainly on there.
I think Wagner. I mean, Wagner's a very good basketball player, but it's just I'm a little priced out at that for me personally. I'm a little priced out there.
Again, there's also a ton of value that everybody's getting to, so it's just like there's going to be so much money to figure out where to spend it all today. With given how the slate's broken down, a lot of these guys with the dual positional eligibility doesn't necessarily help that either. Do you have another spot then as we work our way down the list?
Yeah, I think 2 that are priced at the same number, Asar Thompson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. would probably be the 2 that I gravitate towards specifically. Asar, we kind of looked at the Isaiah Stewart role from 2 games ago as like unsustainable. Not saying it can't happen. It's obviously in the range of outcome, but like to stack that on top of one another seemed unlikely. The minutes for Asar, as long as he's out of foul trouble, are solid low 30s. They could also potentially be without Karis LeVert tonight, which bodes really well for Asar. Such a good spot for everything that he does. Brooklyn, the one thing I'd say, like, they don't turn the ball over as much as I anticipated them to. But I think the usage is trending in the right direction. The minutes are turning in the right direction. So I like Asar. Jaquez is very interesting. I don't know what they do. I'd assume the assumption to me is if Pelle Larsson doesn't play, Jaquez is the starter, because I don't know where else they would go. Mm-hmm. Like they could go to Fontecchio if they just prefer the Jaquez off the bench role. I don't think they would go Jovic, because I think Jovic is basically operating as like the backup, one of the backup bigs tonight. I know they called up Golden from the G League, but I think it would be Jaquez if Larsson's out. And I still think Jaquez has a massive role. They didn't play Pelle Larsson a single minute after his third quarter shift because they just closed with Jaquez last game. Sure. Without Bam, 25.5% usage rate, over a fantasy point per minute. I wish the minutes weren't kind of trending down, but it's going to be hard, especially if Larson sits, to like keep him off the floor. So I really like that range, but with Thompson and Huck,
you're getting some ownership leverage. If Jaime ends up working out the way you think he does, only 5% for him. Well, Soares 20% right now. So from a price standpoint, there again, Cowards around 10%. Any W's around 10% as well. For
the goated Elge.
Yeah, point guard small forward eligibility there.
Yeah.
So, so kind of interesting small forward tier. Again, there's a lot of value that we've kind of already touched on. Canepo, Terrence Mann, rather, that is. Ron Holland is 15% tonight. Going up against Brooklyn here, played 28 minutes at 29 fantasy points, up $200. Any interest going there?
Yes, I think both those last two names we should just talk about for a brief second. I'll start with Terrence Mann. Take Cam Thomas off the floor. You're looking at the Brooklyn Nets leader in usage rate bump. 5.2% usage rate bump when Cam Thomas is off the floor, up to 21%. He also is basically a 1.1 fantasy point per minute player, which, outside, which you and I love to reference, outside of that one Clippers postseason game, Terrence Mann has never been, ever.
It's really never been a great player. He's just hung around the league,
Good defender that is like 20 minutes a night for the Clippers for the last 5 years. New team, new role, right? The minutes are way, way up. The production's way, way, way up. The ball handling is way, way up. We've talked about the Nets not now officially playing a point guard. Well, you're looking at him. This is a guy who's doing most of the ball handling duties right now. So I think Terrence Mann, I think last I looked, he was the third highest rostered net. I think he still is. He might be my favorite net tonight. And then the Ron Holland one, when you look at that first game without Toby, he plays 20 minutes. He had 3 first half fouls, got taken out of the game. Basically just didn't play.
And there was no reason to not play Beef Stew at that game.
And Beef Stew was just doing what he was doing. But also in that game, we commented, Duncan Robinson played 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was just nobody was coming off the floor for the Pistons. In this game, the second game, Duncan Robinson and Ron Holland were very close in minutes. Stewart obviously normalized as well. There's obviously a void for depth when Beef Stew is in your starting lineup, and Holland filled both those wing positions. Plus, again, Karis LeVert being questionable just might give Holland all of the bench run, right? Holland just might absorb as many minutes as possible tonight. So yeah, I think he's pretty viable. If I was picking between them, I think I still lean Terrence Mann, but you have to like the role that Holland had last game for sure.
Yeah. And that update we had, by the way, knocked Cade even further down the ownership land. So
interesting.
Now he's sitting at 7%. He was a little over 10% when we started the show. Giddey got knocked down a little bit. Everybody's just plugging in value and kind of moving their way along. As we go on to the power forward position here, again, up at the top, you do have Giannis. You'd expect there's all of this value. Maybe people are spending there. Not really 10, 12% on Giannis here tonight. Michael Porter Jr. is getting some love. Miles Bridges is getting a little bit of love. Evan Mobley is getting some love there. So they're still not spending all the way up. So you get a little leverage on Giannis tonight in your lineups. There's plenty of value to get him in your lineup. He has an 80 burger already on his ledger this year. Home favorites, 240 total versus Chicago. Yeah. Are you taking a bite out of the Giannis pie tonight?
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Do you think there's something to the minutes? And obviously with Toronto game not included here because that was a blowout, right?
Ooh. So 3 to 4 weeks expected absence for Cam Thomas.
Oof. Tough. Do you think there's something with Giannis's minutes trending down?
He was questionable with the knee, right? Then missed the game. Was it the knee that he was questionable with there?
It's been multiple. It's been multiple things, but it's mainly been the knee. It started the season as a foot injury, I think, like a toe or something, and then it went to the knee. But do you think that Because I'm not saying he's a bad play. He's obviously,
I mean, he's put up some huge
what he
numbers.
is. No, yeah,
even in the minutes, right?
But isn't there's a difference for like when you're paying 11.6. If I'm paying 11.6 for Nikola Jokic, I know I'm getting 35 plus minutes a night.
Sure.
If I'm paying the 10 plus for Cade, I know he's played 37 minutes in 3 straight games, right?
Yeah.
There's something here with whether it's a knee, whether they want to just limit him now. I'm asking. I don't know if you think that this is something that is just what we're going to deal with early on this year. Like he played 38 and then immediately it was like, whoa, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore.
I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, we've obviously known that they're willing to limit his minutes a little bit at times. I don't know. I'd still probably be willing to play him though, just because you can get to him pretty easily. And there's, in terms of ceilings on this slate, right? There's only a couple of guys that can go for 80. So
yeah, I'm not excluding him from like my player pool at all.
Do they have a cup game already? Was that the key?
No, they did not. 10:31 was the cup game.
So, because it's the cup, does he play 38 tonight? Like,
reigning champs.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll say this. I like Giannis quite a bit. Luke Kennard ruled out. I like Giannis quite a bit. I think the next tier is super elite. I think this position is super elite as a whole.
Sure.
Which is why I would also be in line with the field if I'm entering like large field stuff when it comes to Giannis. I think I would be more in line with that number.
Okay. I wrote up Banchero's rebounds for today. It was 8.5.
It looks good, dude. It looks good.
8.5 rebounds for Banchero is the line. I wrote up the over. It's got 11, 11, 9, 11 in the last 4 games. Has the Celtics team that ranked towards the bottom, like 5 in rebounds. And we know what their front court looks like. So I'm definitely in on Banchero. I made a pretty interesting FanDuel lineup with all the plays. It's a fair and balance-ish. Like it's got a bunch of guys in like the 8, 9K because there's some very cheap plays that you can also plug in that are super popular today. And Banchero and Bridges, I have plugged in at power forward tonight. So, keeping me off the chalk of that position and Noah Clowney. But I like Banchero a lot here today.
Yeah, so do I. He is in the mix. I mean, there's not a lot to dislike. He's getting downhill. He's getting to the rim. The free throws are way up. He's already had 4 games this year of double-digit free throw attempts. The minutes are as elite as anybody. The rebounding's been elite. He has a 30% usage, and there's no one at the rim for Boston, especially when Neemias is not in the game. So, and he's not in the game a lot. I mean, they play Neemias mid-20s minutes. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about Paolo. But I could say the same about like 4 guys here. Paolo, I feel the same about Jalen Johnson, and no, it's not a bias thing. You just look at the numbers and they are super good. He leads the team with 1.33 fantasy points per minute without Trey. He has a 25% usage. He has a 30% usage rate or 30% assist rate with Trae Young off the floor. And they're playing up in pace a little bit. Raptors are 9th in pace, 17th in defensive rating. There's a lot to like about Jalen Johnson. There's a lot to like about Miles Bridges, obviously playing, without basically 2 starters, 3, Brandon Miller, 3 starters here, if you include Sexton in that mix. 2.5. I'll go 2.5, I guess, starters, because Sexton starts and he doesn't. Faisal, don't be scared of Giannis. I was just asking. It was just more of a question. I was just curious. He might play 38 minutes tonight, and I'm stupid. And I think Michael Porter is interesting. Obviously, liking this much Brooklyn is concerning. I think I wrote up 5 Brooklyn Nets today, and that's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, we do this a lot, right? Like bad teams, guys get ruled out. They're all cheap. It's like how many you're comfortable playing. They're a 10+ point underdog. Like
he has a 33% usage and his 1.2 fantasy points per minute. Look at there's undeniable production here.
He's everything we always knew he could be.
Yeah.
Where's Sean? Is Sean watching the show today?
Yeah,
we told you.
True.
We told you. Told you he was good.
We always knew he was going to be better than Luka.
Yeah, always knew.
We always knew.
Anyways, I mean, listen, are they going to take him off the floor for who? Like,
no, yeah, it's
right? Like, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. He's gonna take a lot of shots. He's gonna have a Sword Thompson defensively. So, like, that matters to you. Okay. He's also, I don't know. Does he seem like a guy that could check out? Like, I don't know where his head's at these days. Like
he does. He definitely seems like a guy who can check out. But I think he would be more likely if he wasn't taking 20 shots a night. I think fair. He can lock in because he gets to shoot whatever he wants. Yeah, right? That's probably fun for him.
True. He's too busy just watching Jokic do everything for so long.
Yeah, dude, he's like, I'm sure that was incredibly fun.
Yeah,
because like
he had a really great right corner baseline view of it all game.
Yeah, he got to play with the best player in the world for like years, and now he gets to be the best player on his team. Like, it's probably a fun perspective change for him.
Sure. How many times have we had guys get traded to Brooklyn? We're like, well, now he can shoot all day because he's like D'Angelo Russell went there. We're like, oh, he can just shoot all day. He'll be the best player on the team, Like, it's just, and they do. So yeah, it's a great spot. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, you play regardless of your thoughts on Giannis, you play Giannis down to Porter basically, right? Like,
and I'd even I will throw Wiggins' name in that ring as well. I think Andrew Wiggins actually looks pretty incredible today. 1.4 fantasy points per minute without Bam Adebayo on the floor this year. So leads the team. 27% usage. Second on the team.
Yeah, can still score.
Still score. Good rebound. I mean, they're starting him at power forward now. The rebound should tick up, especially without Bam. And obviously this game is great. So yeah, I think Wiggins looks amazing.
Let's see. Your ownership, so Bridges is your top spend of that for ownership wise of that group. Yep. Clowney is the number one overall, all the way down here at 4K.
Warranted. We knew that. We knew that building last night. We knew that.
We did. We plugged him. He might have been one of our first plugs of the show.
Yeah.
Porter's there. Beefs. People are going back to beef stew on the other side of this matchup. 5,700.
Yeah, better price on FanDuel. It's just a solid play. We knew that the numbers would again normalize. That he had an out of body experience in that Memphis game.
Sure.
That's what I would call it. I'd call it an out of body experience in that first game.
Always been a high fantasy point per minute play when the sort of the minutes came and everything broke correctly for him. Yeah, he got it done. Could do it tonight too. It's Brooklyn. They're the worst defensive team in the NBA. Yep. We just probably would lean a little bit more on their traditional producers there, and Duran, the way he's been at, and Cade. So, all right. So, like, where else are you targeting then? Because again, all of these guys kind of in this group outside of Bridges are 10% and under owned. So there's a lot of leverage. Ben Caro is like even lower than that. He's 1%. 1%
People hate playing Paolo. I don't really know.
Think the Celtics are good,
dude. I think that has to be it because like we've seen his projection is too low every slate though. It's every slate. People are undervaluing and under projecting Paolo.
Yeah.
They're not factoring in. He's a 30% usage guy, like attacking the rim relentlessly. And their point guard is playing 20 minutes a night. Like the ball is just in Paolo's hands every second of every game. Like,
sure.
It's a very good tier. Where else am I going was your question. I don't really think there's need for like this whole mid tier. You just play Clowney or you're spending up. That's basically my opinion. You can play Ron Holland here as well. I think Ron Holland looks very good, but
sure,
there's nothing else that really stands out.
People still think the Magic are a slow defensive team. It's true. They're not
slow. Do you mean like in pace, Mr. TD?
Probably.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
If you go look at DVP numbers, they're actually one of the worst teams in the NBA defending the point guard position, which obviously has a lot to do with Suggs just not playing as many minutes as usual because they're generally used to be. Suggs considered a really good defender at the point guard position.
All NBA defense. Our
DVP have them ranked 30th. I've looked across to see kind of cross-checking that 28, 29th on other sites. So kind of depending whatever formula you're using for DVP, they're a bottom 2 or 3 team against point guards. So whether it's Pritchard, White, or just Brown, like whoever's Anthony Simons, who we didn't talk about, but I think Simons is kind of a sneaky play. Probably better for props tonight. Is I think his point prop on underdog is like 13.5. Might be able to get the over on that on Anthony Simons tonight.
So I will say we didn't talk about him. I was looking at his rotation the other day, John.
Simons.
It was bizarre.
Okay.
Pritchard got 2 fouls in the first 46 seconds of the game.
I remember, yes.
Anthony Simons checked in, played basically the rest of the first quarter. Did not play a single minute after that in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Probably because the plan wasn't to play him all the first quarter, right? Like,
didn't play him again. He then played the final 20 minutes of the game in a game that was obviously over.
Yeah.
I just find that incredibly interesting. Is Anthony Simons in blowout? Is a blowout player now?
Okay, well, think about this. What had Peyton Pritchard been the last couple of seasons, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Like Peyton Pritchard was just closing games. Peyton Pritchard is now a starter for them. So Anthony Simons now in the Pritchard, and he gets all the buckets at the end of the game. So
and here's Sam Hauser still closing blowouts.
Yeah. So listen, I think Simons is kind of interesting. Obviously, if you're making a ton of lineups, you throw him in. He's only $4,500. I mean, there's a guy that opened the year over $6K. So
that was just terrible. That was not. He'd never deserved that.
I also agree with you there, but is Simons blowout proof? Seemingly. I mean, he gets early rotation run anyways because he's their first guard off the bench, and he's playing in blowouts. So again, I don't think they're going to blow up Miami. I mean, Orlando, they're underdogs here, but we've also seen them in competitive games. Simons is part of their closing group as well because they need scoring. So again, if you're doing some pick and plays today, go take a look at his point prop. I think it's kind of interesting that there's a chance there. So
he didn't close in their 11-1 blowout loss.
Okay.
He didn't play the final 10 minutes of the game, 16 total. So
Jalen only played 25 in that game the other day. So they just pull Jalen off the floor. So all right, center. No one's playing Wemby. As I mentioned, he sucks.
Everyone's spending
39 points. Keyshawn George ruled out.
Oh boy.
Do we think we get a Cam Whitmore start?
No.
Champagny, the starting power forward tonight for the Wizards?
Probably.
Keyshawn George was starting and is now not. He's out. So
Middleton wasn't there as well. So like Champagny was technically starting for Middleton. Sar, CJ, McCollum.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sar, CJ, Middleton.
Yeah.
Bub.
Yeah.
And then Champagny.
Trey. Champagny.
If they go Trey, Bub, McCollum, they're on drugs. Just saying flat out, there's something in the water and everyone's high AF in Washington.
If they start Trey Johnson, how much Trey Johnson do you get to?
A lot of Trey Johnson.
All right.
He also closed in the blowout like the other day. So I would
bucket maker.
I would feel like there would be a great opportunity for him to start and close, which is great news.
Sure. By the way, we just got an ownership update.
Okay. That sounded interesting.
Jalen Johnson, number 2 in ownership at power forward.
That's annoying. Because Kennard.
Yeah, probably the Kennard move.
They're the Kennard. You know what it is? And it is Quinn Snyder like to not give other people a lot of run and just play the starters more. Right? Like that's Quinn Snyder 101. Quinn Snyder just wants to play his starters. He doesn't want to play.
Jalen Johnson now the 6th highest overall player on the slate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't like that because I just said 5 seconds ago that he was in the playbook.
Yeah, you
John,
brought up how low owned he was.
I'll literally read my excerpt. You ready?
Yeah.
One bad game and nobody wants to play Jalen Johnson, ? In italics. Jots down notes meme from The Office.
Yeah.
That is literally the opening blurb in the Jalen Johnson write-up. And now everyone's playing him.
Yep, everyone's playing him. As of now, let's get update again. We got another 2 hours to roster lock.
He's higher owned than Miles Bridges, who's without anybody on his team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Jalen Johnson's a great play, but there was somewhat of a like, oh, Jalen Johnson's low owned to it all.
Yeah.
You know?
KJ Simpson also got bumped up to around 18%. So
I think you said he was 20.
did I? Okay. I thought he was maybe I was looking at FanDuel. He wasn't getting anything on FanDuel.
I think you had said when the initial
Change happened
that he was 20%. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no one's still playing KJ Simpson on FanDuel. So all right. So center we go back to here. I mentioned no one's playing Wembanyama. Khalil Ware is your top rostered center as we expected, $5,600. Double, 40 fantasy points in 27 minutes versus Denver. We've been attacking centers for Charlotte. James and I have been doing this show for over a decade at this point. And we've just consistently played centers for Charlotte successfully. So I don't necessarily anticipate that changing here today. With Khalil Ware, stretches the floor, can shoot some threes, block shots, does the whole damn thing. Duran is the other guy that we like to target in this spot, $7,500. He's been going off 35 minutes, 34 minutes. I mean, those are insane things for Jalen Duran, who in years past, last year specifically, wasn't getting that kind of run. Nick Claxton we consider to be a pretty good defensive player, but Duran here at that kind of level of production is very difficult to ignore.
Yeah, I am good with Duran. I don't have a problem with Duran. My problem with anyone above Nurkic is that this is such a good position. Nurkic down.
Sure.
That's just my problem. And it's funny because I saw Casey's comment earlier. He said, "Who is everyone spending up on?" And I was just thinking about it for while you were talking, and I wasn't listening to you. It's true.
Nobody.
Giddey.
Yeah, Giddey is your only guy over 9K that's above 15%. Giannis is at 13 now.
It's a really fair and balanced day, but like that's also like to Casey's point. That's how I feel about center. This is a position where, sure, you want to play alone Wemby, you can. I mean, another Casey comment from earlier in the show, like he's going to play Wemby. He has 70. He's gone for 74 times this year. Okay, yeah, that guy's good.
We literally have Wemby at under 1%.
Yeah, yeah, and that's solely based on how teams have defended him the last two games, and it's worked, and whatever.
You also have Kelly Olynyk active tonight. So
they do have Kelly Olynyk and Jeremy Sohan. It's all systems go minus Fox and Harper, and Luke Cornett. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect, but like it's just a really good like mid to value tier, right? Yeah. Nurkic at 63 has averaged 32 minutes in the last two games. Not something I think we could have ever foreseen. The 4 steals, a little bit of an aberration, but he has always been and has good hands defensively. Not a good defender, but those two things don't have to be the same. You can have good hands and not be a good defender. But if they're just going to play him a lot of minutes, there's appeal because he's such a good rebounder. Almost 30 potential rebounds the last two games. I love Nick Claxton tonight. Dude, the role, I posed the question in the playbook, like, is this the best Nick Claxton stretch we've ever seen? And I'm tempted to say yes. 1.4 fantasy points per minute without Cam Thomas. His rebound percentage and his assist percentage absolutely skyrocket over 4% each without Cam Thomas.
Look at the free throw attempts the last two games.
Dude, it's been really good. It's been a really good role. Obviously, like, there's a lot to deal with. I'm serious here. I hate that Nick Claxton and Isaiah Stewart are on the same floor together. Those are two very temperamental human beings that could absolutely fight and get thrown out of a game tonight. But I think Nick Claxton looks great at 6K just with the current role he has. Jared Allen, I think Anthony just talked about Jared Allen. He looks very good. 30 minutes is not something we've seen from Jared Allen lately. Then you get below. We've talked Stewart. You talked Khalil Ware. It's impossible not to like Khalil Ware in that game. Kalkbrenner on the other side obviously has massive rebounding plus block upside. Kalkbrenner's just always in drop coverage. And he's blocking shots at the rim. And Daniel Gafford is someone that I've ad nauseum just screamed about because they're down their top two centers, presumably so, with Anthony Davis questionable or doubtful, which kind of gives you an idea that Davis could play tomorrow with the back-to-back, and maybe Gafford sits, right? He's been on this limit of 20 minutes where he's playing 25 minutes. There could be an extension of that. We don't really need the extension of that because of how good Gafford's been in 25 minutes. The potential rebounds last game were elite, 17, I think. Obviously, very good. Another very good stocks guy, very good around the rim. So
yeah,
it's a really good value tier. And this is another spot where you could technically play Noah Clowney too. And I do think Jovic is going to play backup 4, backup 5. I do think Landale has played well, has even given us 30-minute upside. Probably something they need to just match the size with Daniel Gafford on the other side. But yeah, I think this is a really good value, really, really good value position.
Sure. Anything else before we build the lineup here?
Yeah, let's just comment on Anthony. Anthony wants to talk about Scotty Barnes more than anything else. And if you've heard us talk about anything Toronto, you've heard us say the same thing. Scotty Barnes has a very high ceiling. So does everyone on Toronto, and everyone has a low floor. Scotty Barnes has shown a less than 20 fantasy point floor. But yes, he is a great tournament play against Atlanta.
Yeah. Again, we like all of Toronto. It's just picking the right ones. Really what it's about.
Yes. Yeah. And to run it back with Cooper Flagg, I don't know. I don't know.
Again, maybe at ownership. Porter, Scotty Barnes, Cooper Flagg. I like all of them. I really don't have a problem playing any of them. If you're building multiple lineups, getting to them, I won't really argue with it. I'm not saying they're bad.
I agree.
You put up elite numbers. It's just figuring out where you want to go. And if you want to be different today, we've said the chalk is all the value, and no one's really playing any of these sort of mid-tier guys. So you're getting a lot of guys at low ownership to help you. So Scotty Barnes goes for 60 tonight. Yeah, you're probably going to break away from the field because he's 7%, 8%, and everybody else is 8%. And if he outscores them, you're going to give yourself an advantage. So, Terrence Mann, yeah, we kind of went over that one, Casey, a little bit earlier. Leads the team in usage rate with Cam Smith.
Usage rate bump.
Usage rate bump, yeah. No, Michael Porter Jr. obviously leads the team in usage rate. Yes. Usage rate increase with Cam Smith off the floor. Cam Thomas. Jesus.
Cam Thomas, Casey Smith, same. We're combining names now.
Cam Smith is somebody too. I just don't know where it's coming from at the moment. Probably like a football thing or something. All right, let's get a lineup going then for everybody here.
Trey man.
Yeah, probably got to go these pesky Hornets. Con probably, right? 58. Are you less in on Kneppel?
No, I like Kneppel.
Okay.
Khalil Ware, or just playing the 3 highest rostered players of the day. Just plug them in and move on.
Clowney?
Yep, 4 highest rostered players of the day. Yep, keep it going. This is exactly, for everyone out there, this is exactly what
everybody is building their lineup. Yep.
Everyone's cash game and single entry lineups are going to start this exact way, just for everyone's. You're building someone's cash lineup for them right now.
Man, Kneppel, Clowney, Ware, Giddy.
Leave it. No, just leave it. Just leave it.
Play the other man.
Leave it all.
Yeah, we'll stop here. We'll do the full lineup in Discord as always. So, how many Charlotte DePrince asks? We got 2. 2 are in there. I would say you could play 3. You can get the Bridges.
Yeah, if KJ Simpson were to start, you can easily make a case for 4.
Sure. Play Man, Simpson, Bridges, Kneppel.
Yep.
Okay. Do you like Victor over Giannis tonight as far as spend ups?
I would probably lean Giannis, but it's
Steven Adams is active tonight for Houston, so another big body for Houston to go up against.
RIP Clint Capella.
I need a different FanDuel build in Discord. We'll help you out, DePrince, with FanDuel. We'll get you there.
I need for a takedown, specifically for a takedown.
Trust me, if I could build you a FanDuel takedown lineup, I'd just play it myself.
You would build it yourself.
I just play it myself. Not going double big tonight, though. They're going Thompson, Okogie, Durant, Smith, and Şengün. So that's your lineup.
Yeah, they're standard. They're the new standard lineup.
Yeah, the new standard. They tried one big lineup one day. All right, guys, we do appreciate you guys tuning in each and every day with us. We will throw this one out here for you. We do have the 50% off first month promo still going on. fantasyalarm.com/YT50. Promo code YT50. You'll take that 50% off the first month, just $19.99. You can scan that QR code or again, type in that URL. Access to everything we have on site, not just NBA content, but NFL content, PGA, MMA, NASCAR, NHL, all of our betting content, DFS, and seasonal content that's premium, and access to our premium Discord channels where someone like the Prince is talking about helping him out with FanDuel lineups. All of that is included, and you get that first month for $20. We're up over 70 units betting the NFL this season, which pretty much means you pay for that first month this weekend. Flat out, you'll pay for this first month, $20 this weekend with our NFL picks. So ride that one basically for free, and then it's $39.97 a month after that. You can cancel it anytime. We do have our annual subscription, which is 40% cheaper than our month-to-month cost. You can sign up annual for $287 for the year and get us till this time next season. So plenty of options to join the family. We do appreciate all the support you guys can bring us to that. Grant and I will be back Sunday night for the Monday preview show. Everybody, good luck this weekend. Get us in that Discord. We'll catch you later.